Right, I'm going to make some egg tempera medium. It's quite simple. I may have done this before, but I'm going to do it differently. Things I need are a syringe. That's for later on. I need a container to put it in. These are specimen containers. They seal up quite well, which is what you really want. I've got some white wine, just a cheap white wine really. And I've also got, in addition, some wax emulsion that I've made. It's you can make this in different ways, but this one's made with ammonium carbonate and beeswax to produce a sort of soluble version of beeswax. And I need a rag and a pipette for the wine. I'll take that off. I'll start this. We've got to separate the white for this particular form of egg tempera. This is like pure egg tempera with the egg yolk. So we'll separate the white off as much as possible without trying not to break the egg yolk. Put it on there. I'll keep that for the dog. And we'll just run this around a little bit, just to absorb a bit more of the egg white. Then I'll just fold that. And of course I've got my palette knife always handy. And I'll just fold that over there to the edge. And what I'm going to do is I break the yolk sac. And just squeeze out the yellow. It's a good idea not to touch it if you can. We don't want to sort of like get any bacteria or anything into it as possible. At least very little. So there we are. It's not very much. It's just a little bit. And we'll take some. Don't really need to use a pipette, but I'd like to use my pipette. I'll take a bit of white wine. Oh, it's delivering too small amount. We'll just you can do it sort of about to the same volume if you want, or just a little bit less. Oops. Yeah, that's probably enough. Now this is a good additive simply because it helps to preserve the egg yolk, as well as it improves the flow when you actually use it. And it also helps with the wetting in the pigments when some pigments don't wet very well. So we just shake it up. But if this is nice and sealed, or else it goes everywhere. Okay, so that's a primary solution. You could just use that if you want for egg tempera, but I'm going to go one step further. I'm just going to add a little bit of my, not very much as you can see, just a little bit of, I'll add a little bit more, a little bit of wax medium. Now I'll add that because it sort of has slightly different properties. It sort of means the egg tempera is slightly more glossy actually when it's sort of dried, and it also slightly more waterproof. So you can paint over it with less lifting. It's actually a bit hard to disperse sometimes. But you know, that's good. You could actually add more, but you can add too much wax emulsion and it starts making the medium weak, and it falls to bits when it goes on as well. But just a small amount really improves the qualities quite a lot. There we are. That's it. We can put that in the fridge, and that'll last for many weeks really. The main thing that makes the egg go off is the exposure to air, so what I tend to do is I take as much as I can out in a syringe, really, or at least like a 10 ml syringe is good, and then I can use that to deliver the egg tempera to my pigments, and I can put that in the fridge and keep that much longer. And this can go in the fridge when you're not using it, and being cut off from the air so much, it actually keeps really well. So that's how you do it. Pretty straightforward.